Every now and then, we all wonder who the world's wealthiest people are. To the average person, it's someone who has a supportive community and a loving family. Forbes, on the other hand, disagrees. So, who are the high-profile people with the most money? Who are the game changers? The industry-shaping centi-billionaires? So in the spirit of unequal distribution, we'll look at the top 10 richest and wealthiest people on the planet. So get that score sheet out and start guessing who's ranked where. Only here on Modern Luxury, the high-end stories of today. Before we begin, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to be updated on today's most trending lavish stories. Number 10 is Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer, who has a net worth of $107 billion, is at the bottom of our list of extremely wealthy people. That's correct, guys. Even the 10th place finisher on our list is a centi-billionaire. Ballmer is an American entrepreneur, investor, and former Microsoft CEO. He is also an avid sports fan who, like most others, likes a game of basketball now and then. He eventually grew tired of cursing the coaches from behind his television, and did what every sports fan dreams of doing. He paid $2 billion to buy the Los Angeles Clippers in 2014 so he could do all the yelling. Steve Ballmer's connection with Microsoft helped him become the 10th richest person on the planet. His $333.3 million in Microsoft stock, as well as his 14 years as the company's CEO, placed some cash in his pocket. Steve Ballmer was a statistically unique baby, born in 1956 in Detroit, Michigan, long before he climbed to number 10 on this coveted royal luxury list. In the wealthy farming town, he enjoyed a comfortable life. Steve spends his time these days with his wife, Connie Snyder, and his 3 children, most likely playing basketball. At number 9, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, often known as the Oracle of Omaha, has a net worth of $108 billion and is a very successful and prolific investor. He's the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, a conglomerate that owns over 60 businesses ranging from battery manufacturing to restaurants. Warren Buffett is milking that cow for all it's worth if it can earn money. Buffett is well known for a few things, one of them being a seemingly frugal billionaire who spends billions of dollars acquiring companies and investing in new enterprises rather than buying the fastest sports vehicles or living in the greatest mega homes. Buffett is also noted for his charitable endeavors, having pledged to contribute over 99% of his fortune to charity and giving away more than $45 billion thus far, mostly to the Gates Foundation and his kids' foundations, yet still stands pretty up top on the list of richest billionaires. In 2010, he and Bill Gates co-founded the Giving Pledge, which asked billionaires to donate at least half of their wealth to philanthropic organizations. The promise has attracted a large number of wealthy individuals, including billionaires such as Elon Musk and Larry Ellison. Buffett spends his time at his $652,000 Omaha house when he isn't paying a lower tax rate than his assistant. Top 8 is Sergey Brin. Next, we have one of Google's 2 geniuses, who claims that if you mention them in your movies, the algorithm rewards you with twice as many views. It's not surprising that Google's founder is on this list. After all, you're seeing this video on YouTube, which is owned by Google, which is owned by Alphabet, which Sergey Brin is the co-founder, former president, controlling shareholder, and board member of. He is, after all, wealthy. Sergey's resume is lengthy, but it pales in comparison to his financial account. Sergey is worth $120 billion. It's impossible to be the founder of our future technology overlord and be worth less than a few $1 billion. Brin has a couple of additional personal initiatives outside of Google. He and Larry Page are attempting to assist in the resolution of the world's energy and climate issues. For example, investing in offshore wind generation and more energy-efficient autos. Brin, like every other billionaire, has reportedly invested in the billionaire space race, investing $4.5 million in a Virginia-based space tourism company's space excursions. So far, Space Adventures has sent at least 7 guests above the atmosphere. Is he now the winner of the space race? Let me know what you think in the comments. Number 7. Larry Ellison. With a net worth of $122 billion, we have the Oracle of Silicon Valley. Larry Ellison amassed his fortune as the CEO and founder of Oracle, a small computer corporation with a $239 billion market capitalization. Larry was briefly the richest person in the world in the 1990s before winning the coveted title of 7th richest person in the world. He was also the highest paid executive in the world at various times with a salary of up to $90 million. By billionaire standards, Larry Ellison's story is quite remarkable. He was born in New York City and was adopted when he was just a child. He grew up in Chicago's South Shore, which is a middle-class neighborhood. He found himself working in the computer field after dropping out of 2 universities, which encouraged him to design Oracle, a software that was successful enough to compete with Sybase and Microsoft SQL Server. Ellison now lives on Lanai, his own private Hawaiian island that he purchased nearly entirely for $300 million. He's also a member of Tesla's board of directors after investing $3 million in the company. Our number 6 is none other than Mark Zuckerberg. The 6th person on our list does not require much of an introduction. Who doesn't recognize Mark Zuckerberg? Just wait till Meditech is turned off and your smart fridge begins to sound like your friendly neighborhood billionaire. The majority of Zuckerberg's fortune comes from his Facebook stock. I know, it's shocking. He has a $123 billion net worth. That's what being the founder and CEO of Facebook does to you. Is it Meta? Or should I say Meta? Facebook Inc., the social media company, has lately undergone a rebranding, likely as a result of everyone memeing on them for over 10 years. In 2004, Zuckerberg launched Facebook, which he named The Facebook at the time, beginning a long series of odd names given to items by Zuckerberg. Mark had about 400 million total shares in Facebook in addition to being the company's CEO, giving him 58% of the company's total voting power. In between sessions before Congress, Mark spends his time with his wife Priscilla Chan and their 2 daughters in one of his many houses, chilling in the metaverse. Before we move on to the next part, what do you think of these high-profile individuals? We'd really love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now back to the video. Number 5. Larry Page. The following entry on this list should come as no surprise, although the large gap between this Google founder and the previous one surprises me. Larry Page, like Sergey Brin, is a Google man who helped co-found the company in 1998. For a time, he was also the CEO of Alphabet. So here we are, introducing the YouTube algorithm to the brand. Larry Page attended Stanford University, where he met his Google co-founder Sergey Brin, and the 2 collaborated to create Google's PageRank algorithm, which contributed to the website's success. Eventually, Larry's net worth exceeded $125 billion as a result of his support. Although Larry's net worth is derived through his ties to Google, he is a founding investor in Space Exploration Company, a planetary resources company, so as not to be left behind in the billionaire space race. He's also a shareholder of Kitty Hawk and Opener, 2 flying automobile businesses. When Larry isn't acquiring information about you, he can be found writing about in his Tesla X or relaxing on his 193-foot mega yacht. Number 4 is Bill Gates. Next, we have a man who has remained among the top 5 richest persons in the world for an extended period of time. Bill Gates is an American business magnate, software developer, and investor. Let's be honest, you knew he was going to be on this, you just wanted to know which spot. Gates is and has been one of the world's most well-known billionaires. After all, it's his name you curse in despair every time your computer crashes. And that's because you're statistically more likely to be using a Windows computer because Microsoft is a huge firm. Guess who's the co-founder and previous CEO of said big firm? You guessed it, Gates, Bill. And it's added a significant amount of cash to his bank account. Gates has a net wealth of $138 billion, which continues to rise despite his great charity efforts. Gates has refused to retire despite standing down as CEO of Microsoft. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is well known. However, due to his divorce in 2021, the name is now a little weird. Bill's idea of an island vacation turns out to be the type of thing that puts ordinary folks on a list they don't want to be on. These days, when Bill isn't trying very hard to give away all his money, he's starring in many different types of conspiracy videos all over the internet. Number 3. Jeff Bezos. Bezos, who used to be number 1 on everyone's list of world's wealthiest people, slipped a few spots in 2021. Bezos has a net worth of $195 billion, which had some speculating that he might be the next trillionaire once upon a time. 2021 was full of surprises. He's the founder, CEO, president, and chairman of the board of directors of Amazon.com, a firm that has experienced significant growth in recent years, thanks to everyone's renewed desire to isolate themselves by staying at home. For the foreseeable future, Bezos will almost certainly remain among the world's top 3 wealthiest people. Heck, maybe he'll make a comeback. After all, he still owns nearly 55 million shares in Amazon, one of the country's largest corporations. All of this is despite his 2019 divorce from ex-wife Mackenzie Scott, which may have cost him a few $1 billion due to a settlement that reduced his net worth to $114 billion. But it only took a few years for Jeffrey to fully recover. He recently sent himself to space aboard a rocket created by Bezos' own rocket business, Blue Origin. Despite the fact that many people signed a petition asking him not to return, he failed to satisfy his faithful consumers. When he isn't partying with his new girlfriend, Bezos is competing in and winning the billionaire space race. Bernard Arnault is top 2 on the list. At number 2, we have the former world's richest individual, who was only famous for a short time. That's correct. Bernard Arnault was the world's richest person for a few months in 2021. He remains the wealthiest individual in France, Europe, and the fashion industry by a large margin. He has $198 billion net wealth. Even though Bernard has previously been the richest person in the world 3 times, there aren't many people out here talking about him. He won the title in both 2019 and 2020. I'm amazed he hasn't just stayed number 1, given the sheer number of pies in his fingers. He oversees an empire of over 70 brands, including Louis Vuitton and Sephora. Bernard specializes in high-end items such as clothes, wines, watches, fragrances, cosmetics, and even pastries. That's correct, it wasn't just a metaphor when I said pie earlier. Bernard spends his days either running the family business with his 4 children, Frederick, Delphine, Antoine, and Alexander, or relaxing on his $150 million, 333-meter yacht, Symphony. Before we reveal to you the richest person in the world based on our list, let's have a rundown. At top 10, Steve Ballmer. Top 9, Warren Buffett. At top 8, Sergey Brin. 7th wealthiest, Larry Ellison. Top 6 richest person, Mark Zuckerberg. 5th spot was Larry Page. At top 4, Bill Gates. Coming at the 3rd spot, Jeff Bezos. At top 2, Bernard Arnault. And the world's wealthiest, Elon Musk. And now we have the world's richest person. With an astounding net worth of $1 trillion for the time being, I'm simply kidding, Musk has a net worth of $283 billion, which puts him about $100 billion ahead of former number 1 richest man, Jeff Bezos. Musk's commercial spaceflight has yet to take off, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Elon Musk is another extremely well-known billionaire. He was born in South Africa and raised in Canada. He's a businessman, an investor, and the CEO of SpaceX. And based on the sheer number of cameos he's had, you might as well call him an actor as well. Elon Musk has had a long and successful career in the tech business, having sold his first piece of software at the age of 12. Musk's first company, Zip2 Corporation, was sold for $34 million in stock options and $307 million in cash. Following that, he co-founded X.com, which led to the founding of PayPal, which was later sold to eBay for $1.5 billion in stock. In classic Elon Musk flair, he's turned SpaceX into a $74 billion corporation and propelled Tesla to the forefront of high-end electric vehicles, placing him on the cover of Time magazine in 2021 as Person of the Year. When Musk isn't trying to populate Mars, you'll see him on television, either being interviewed or being exactly as humorous as you'd imagine a tech billionaire to be. So, who is your favorite billionaire on the list? It's Musk, isn't it? He always is. Or maybe Zuckerberg? Please tell us in the comments section below. If this video changed your perspective in any case, don't forget to hit that like button and click on that bell to get notified for more lists. For more insightful videos like this, subscribing to the channel is the best way to go. Once again, from the high-end stories of today, this is Modern Luxury. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you again in one of our videos.